Hello, I am President Ulysses S. Grant. On June the 20th of 1885, I wrote my wife Julia a letter about some matters that I had found it too painful to talk about with her. So I felt, commit them to writing. And the letter I wrote her is as follows. Mount McGregor, Saratoga County, New York, June 20th, 1885. My dear wife, there are some matters about which I would like to talk, but about which I cannot. The subject would be too painful to you and the children, and by reflex, painful to me also. When I see you and them depressed, I join in the feeling. I have known for a long time that my end was approaching with certainty. How far away I could not venture to guess. I had an idea, however, that I would live until fall or the early part of winter. I see now, however, that the time is approaching much more rapidly. I'm constantly losing flesh and strength. The difficulty of swallowing is increasing daily. The tendency to spasms is constant. From 3 or 4 in the afternoon until relieved by morphine, I find it difficult to get breath enough to sustain me. Under these circumstances, the end is not far off. We are comparative strangers in New York City. That is, we made it our home late in life. We have rarely, if ever, had serious sickness in the family, therefore have made no preparation for a place of burial. This matter will necessarily come up at my death and may cause you some embarrassment to decide. I should myself select West Point above all other places, but for the fact that in case West Point should be selected, you would, when the time comes, I hope far in the future, be excluded from the same grounds. I therefore leave you free to select what you think the most appropriate place for depositing my earthly remains. My will disposes of my property I've left with Fred. A memorandum giving some details of how the proceeds from my book are to be drawn from the publisher and how disposed of. Look after our dear children and direct them in the paths of rectitude. It would distress me far more to think that one of them could depart from an honorable, upright, and virtuous life than it would to know that they were prostrated on a bed of sickness from which they were never to arise alive. They have never given us any cause of alarm on their account. I earnestly pray they never will. With these few injunctions and the knowledge I have of your love and affections, and of the dutiful affections of our children, I bid you a final farewell until we meet in another, and I trust, better world. U.S. Grant. P.S. This will be found in my coat after my demise. This letter has been taken from the papers of Ulysses S. Grant.